Hey, it's Gab Goldenberg from SEO ROI Services, and I want to talk about some online community building stuff today, and specifically about getting more comments on your blog, and not on your blog really, about getting more comments on my blog, because I get really few comments, and it makes blogging a little bit lonely, and not as interesting because, you know, I could write trash, I could write something really great, and it would all be the same because there isn't that feedback. So I thought, you know, it could be something to do with technology, and I've recently added threaded comments so that commenters can get back and forth among themselves. We'll see if that makes a difference. But I don't really think it's the technology, because I've also blogged at Grey Wolves and at SEO Moz and at Tamar's blog Techipedia. And generally speaking, I don't really get that many comments. So for example, the two guest posts I just mentioned at Mike Gray's and Tamar Weinberg's have got no comments to date, except for one trackback to them. And it's a little frustrating, I won't lie. So my question is, how can I get more comments? And I've thought of different things. One of them was to go the Avinash Kaushik route, which is email first-time commenters something really substantial, really detailed, and show them that you really appreciate the comment. And in part, I tried to do that, but first of all, not consistently, and second of all, I don't really think I have the time to do that, which is the bigger issue. Just because I have so many projects plus school going on, it's not happening. In any case, I try to answer all comments I get in the blog, so in theory at least, that should be sufficient. I've also added on our leg note an option to subscribe to comments on a particular post. That way, if you want to follow the conversation, get back and forth, it's easier. But getting back to the Avinash Kaushik thing, I don't think that that's the solution. Next point I've considered was maybe stumbling more, and honestly I've stumbled a bunch. I'm probably at over 500 things stumbled right now, maybe even close to 1,000. It hasn't really made a difference, quite frankly. Not in the amount of traffic I get from StumbleUpon or people paying attention to my stuff on StumbleUpon. And you would think obviously there's a correlation between stumble traffic you get in comments, and in any case, I'm not really seeing many of either from the stumble activity. Next thing I considered was links, and I generally link out generously. I like to add do follow links to comments for people who really add value and say something intelligent, whether it's sharing an anecdote, adding an 11th tip when I write, say, like a top 10 tips post. People who are really saying something intelligent, worth paying attention to, you know. And in addition to that, of course, I link out to plenty of blog posts, plenty of bloggers, articles, whatever it is. I think in the past 2 or 3 weeks, I've gone on a bit of a binge and gone haywire, but in any case, even those haven't really gotten that much attention. And if you look at a place like Search Engine Land, Barry Schwartz is always linking out, and I don't think those really get that many comments. Anyways, that's a separate question for another day. But just staying on the links thing, if you look at my friend Jute Park's blog, Winning the Web, winningtheweb.com, check it out. He's created this thing called the Internet Marketing Top Blogs Ranking, and what he did is create this really elaborate script that takes data points from Compete, from Google, from Alexa, all this stuff, mashes the numbers together, and outputs a ranking. And this is useful to a certain extent because A, it's a link, and B, it's external validation. You can put on your site, say, you know, I'm ranked at so-and-so position on Jute's Internet Marketing Top Blogs ranking. Lee Audin's done something similar with his big list of search marketing blogs, and then you also have Alltop, which is Guy Kawasaki's aggregator that sort of does this for all sorts of categories, whether it's marketing or business or cooking, whatever. personally, ego bait like that doesn't really do it for me, and I think in our niche in particular, it does it for an even smaller percentage of people than it might normally, just because we're familiar with how link bait works, and that probably makes us more cynical. So I know myself, the first thing I ever wrote on link bait, I think, was this article called The 4 Characteristics of Link Bait, or Why Rand Fishkin is Brilliant. And Rand totally didn't take the bait, so no link from there. And I can't say I blame him. It was a decent article, but I mean, nothing extraordinary, and in hindsight I was probably rehashing stuff a little bit, unfortunately. Although I thought it was doing anyway. And I don't think that links, just what I'm trying to get at, is I don't think that links for some reason are that motivating as far as generating quality comments. So they're there and I add them, but it hasn't really made a difference, I would say. And I don't think it's making a difference for other people, because I don't think the reaction generally to some other ego-driven link bait I've seen, in our niche at least, gets that many comments or attention. And so the point I'm going to get at with all this is, what can I do for you? Guy Kawasaki's book I'm reading right now, his new book called Reality Check. Pretty good. I'm fairly impressed, I'll give you that. Kudos to Michael Gray for sending that my way. Part of his viral conversations, I think. New business, so check that out, viralconversations.com. And in any case, one of the things he raises as the key mark of a good networker is the person's always asking, what can I do for you? They want to give way before they even consider taking, and generally they're not really out to consider taking to begin with. They get a kick out of helping other people, and I realized that in the offline world, at least, I do as well. And at parties, I'm often, introducing people one to the other, going to speak to the person who's off on their own, having them come join some friends and I. But you can't really do that so much online as far as bringing somebody who's off on their own, that is, into your little circle of people chatting and drinking. So, what can I do for you? Can I connect you with somebody I know? I've got a pretty decent Rolodex and amount of connections on LinkedIn and Facebook, whatever. Can I help you get a job? Can I link to your site if links really are motivating and I'm missing something? Can I give you tips on SEO, social media to the extent I know it? I'm certainly no expert like Tamar is, or like Michael again is, but I know a fairly good amount. Yeah, and so what can I do for you? Please let me know, honestly. Cheers.